So as I said, each of these items, right, each of these knowledge areas will have certain definitions of groups done. Okay. So what are we going to do? What are the tasks that we're going to perform in enterprise analysis? First, define the business need, okay, which we might do it or some consultant would have already done, and rest of the items we're going to take up. Assess the capability gaps. What is that we need to identify, we have identified as gaps, okay, or is there a gap in first place? And then determine solution approach. What is the approach that we're going to take to bridge that gap? What is, and we'll also define the scope, right? So there we have identified an approach, we'll also identify the scope, right? And then once we identify the scope, what is in scope, okay, then we define a business case. Okay, so the business case is clear. It makes sure that, I mean, what is the objective, what is that we're going to achieve. I mean, it's mostly in numbers. Okay, in most cases it is mostly in numbers. Okay, it could be subjective. We try and say set rules, we try and set certain text and certain objectives, but it's not going to help. Most of the cases it's all in numbers. It says this is the dollar amount that I'm going to save, this is the net present value, this is what I'm going to achieve. Okay, mostly related to P&L.
All right. It is related to its financial statements, any of the items in their financial statements.
Correct. I mean, in most cases, yes. In some cases, it might not be also. In some cases, I mean, if it's like related to regulatory compliances, we just have to stick to regulatory compliances, or we just have to stick to a third-party application. Okay. Say if we have to integrate to a third-party application, right? That's an objective in itself. So the business case clearly says we have to make sure that our system integrates with the third-party application. There will not be any numbers involved. Okay, the objective is to make sure that the business is functioning smoothly, the integration happens smoothly. So, but a clear business case would mostly mean in terms of numbers, which clearly says what is the value add, what is the dollar amount that I'm going to save, what is the dollar amount that I'm going to spend. It will be in those lines. Okay, so what are the tools that we are going to use for enterprise analysis? Focus groups, SWOT analysis, interface analysis, benchmarking, business rule analysis. Okay, can someone quickly before this, you guys have got set of documents from Anindita or someone? Did you get any template?
We have.
Okay. Can you, there is a case study which has been shared with you. Can you open that case study? I might open that here because I was trying to check if it was already shared.
I'm not sure whether case study.
No, I'll just open it. Let me see if you have that. Okay. Let me know if you already have it. This folder would have been shared with you, and this case study you should be having it. If not, I have to share it with you. This folder I shared with you, right? The two share folder.
No, I think.
Can someone tell me what has been shared with you?
I haven't seen this folder yet.
No, I mean, what has been shared with you? I mean, this might be the exhaustive one.
One is a tools evaluation PDF and CBAP workshop PDF. These are the two PDFs which was shared.
Only two documents, is it?
Correct.
Okay.
And a link for the e-learning thing.
That's where you should be having all this.
Oh, okay.
The e-learning link, right, where they've told like they'll share all the documents, right? Templates and documents.
I'm not sure the documents are there, but a link has been shared.
Can you check? Can someone check and let me know? Or also share me that link with me. Can someone quickly check and let me know?
Welcome to the e-learning on Certified Business Analyst program.
Oh, it only has that this thing, I believe, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
It just has the program learning thing, not the documents.
Strange. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna share this with you guys. Okay. For now, whatever is required, I'm gonna share it with you, and then let me share other stuff. So. Everyone here, right? So this case study is very important. Okay, just make sure that we'll go through it. Okay, so this is how we're gonna approach in building a business case. Okay. So this is one of the case study for any future reference also, right? Any work, any other activities that we're going to perform, say illustration, or let's take this case study for reference. Okay, so that way it will be complete, starting from business case to illustration to requirements management to building a systems requirements document. Okay, so once you have that, let me know. We'll continue with this. Can someone explain me what are these tools and how are we going to use it? What is focus group?
Focus group, my understanding is like an expert team to review some requirement. But
Yeah.
there's a moderator and a structure, more structure, more
Correct.
structured.
Yeah. Mostly, I mean, if you conduct workshops and all, it will be little chaotic. Focus group is, I mean, if you don't get an answer in any other sessions, you call guys who are experts in that area, and you will do a focus group session. Okay. SWOT analysis, I don't have to explain you. It's about strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Okay. So while doing an enterprise analysis, while building a business case, we have to make sure uh, we identify all the 4 items. That way, I mean, what does the strength do? We know what is our strength. What does the weakness say? Where do we lag with our competitors, right? And opportunities is where do we, where can we explore, right? What are the opportunities that we can explore using our strength? Threat could be what competitors are doing to us and where we can, I mean, where are we going to get hit, right? So, we do SWOT analysis to make sure that where we stand in building the business case. So, interface analysis, I explained you this. Can someone help me? What is interface analysis? It's about making sure that we don't miss out on any other third-party applications, right? Say I have a system and I have to work on that system, but it's not necessary that I have all the information in that system. We might be getting information, or we might be we might have a dependency on a third-party application or systems, right? An enterprise, it's as many systems. It could be internal, it could be external, managed by third party, right? So we have to make sure we do a proper interface analysis and we don't miss out on any other requirements which are related to third party applications. So we have to do proper interface analysis. What is benchmarking?
Compare yourself with the best in the industry.
Correct. So we basically take up all the best in class practices, best in class approaches and use them. Okay, benchmark them. Okay, business rules analysis, I explained you this, right? We have to make sure that we cover all the business rules. So when we define a business need, we have to make sure that the change or the problem is solved, right? The change require whatever change we are proposing or the client is expecting, we're going to make sure that we're going to meet them. Okay, so how do we meet them? First, we should have a proper business need defined. So, and why is it required? And this should all be documented, right? The elements of defining the business needs are, we have to define business
Excuse me.
objectives that are going to be met because of this business need. I don't know who's this now. I hear a lot of background.
Excuse me, Arun.
Yeah,
Arun, this is Rashmi here.
yeah.
I would like to know a bit more about benchmarking. When we are saying Western industry, we have to do a comparison against the industry standards. Like usually in the technology perspective, we will look into the process perspective, we will look into the CMMI things. So how in the business analysis, we will conclude that, okay, this is the Western industry standard.
When we say business analysis, right, first thing is about practice, how we approach business analysis. Okay, that is done outside. Okay, when it comes to enterprise analysis, it is about understanding the enterprise in itself. Okay, their business and what is the best practice. Okay, accordingly we'll say, okay, your competitor say Walmart is doing this, so Tesco are doing this, okay, 10 other retail industry is doing this,
Okay.
okay. In terms of business, that's how we do it. In terms of practice, say a business analysis practice itself, say how am I going to write a requirement, how am I going to model it, that's something that we have to do it outside of it. That's mostly through our peer reviews, through our previous experiences, or a new guy joining in your team, you take inputs from him, right?
Okay, okay, okay. Oh, that is where the process comes into place. But when it comes to the enterprise analysis, we have to look into the business side. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Selmet.
Sorry, Varada, you are online. You can speak. Okay, I don't hear any background noise. Varada, you were asking me something?
Right. At the enterprise analysis level, we have still not come to the solution or the application, right? So we are still actually assessing the business only.
Correct. Yeah. No, what she was mentioning was about the practice itself, the way we conduct business analysis. What is the
Okay.
approach? It's not, I mean, even that is also benchmarking, but that's done outside of this enterprise analysis. That's mostly on a practice building activity, right? You have a business analysis
Okay.
team, you have a manager, you all sit together, understand what is the best practice, and accordingly you will modify your processes in terms of how you conduct business analysis. Okay, so you define goals and objectives, you define what are the problems and opportunities, and then what will be the desired outcome, right? We have to identify the gaps. Why do we identify the gaps? We understood that there is a need, but what is the need? Why has the need arise? That's basically because there was a gap. We have to make sure that we understand that. Okay, analyze current capabilities, analyze new capability requirements, document assumptions. Assumption constraint, it's a major topic that we have to discuss. Okay, it is as good as writing your critical requirements. Okay, and you sometimes even more than that. Okay, assumptions and constraints play a very key role. So let's discuss that in the coming sessions. Capabilities. Some sample capabilities are mentioned here. They could be business processes, features of a software, tasks that an end user may perform, events that a solution may be able to respond, products that an organization creates, services that an organization delivers, goals that a solution will allow. Observe the last capability example. Seems a bit of an old capability, but included in the beer box. So observe, yeah. Why do you think we need to define a solution approach here in enterprise analysis? Would it be required? Vanto, you there? Vanto?
Hi. Hi.
Yeah, I mean, you're there. We would like to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you more, okay?
Yeah.
Why do you think we require solution approach during enterprise analysis?
Mm, mm.
Alec, you want to take that?
I think it is a top level plan to determine how to implement the user requirement. Okay.
Can you come again? Sorry, we didn't get you that.
I think it is some step to about how to build a solution.
Yeah, I mean, why do we require during enterprise analysis is my question. I mean, we do it at the later stage, fine, but why at enterprise analysis?
Maybe there's different, a lot of resolutions to meet this business objective. So we need to use some techniques, example scoring, rank, and scoring, and select the best approach. Is that
Correct. So what are we trying to say here is, we did an analysis, we are trying to build a business case, but while doing so, we also have to identify certain approach, okay? If we know there are certain approaches that we can follow in terms of identifying a solution, we'll do that, okay? Say for example, in one of these case studies, okay, the case study that I've shared with you, right? It clearly says the projects are running in late, and currently it has 50 project managers, which are expected to grow in linear and 200 in next coming years, next 6 years of a years. Okay. It is expected to save 10% of the project management effort. So the approach is already identified. They identify that, okay, with this, there is a 10% project management effort that they can save. Okay, so if you have similar approaches, right, you have to identify them and mark them. So it's critical. If you know them, you mark it. It's not necessary that we follow that approach, but it is critical. If you have many approaches, then you'll rank them based on the way it's been defined. Okay, so if it's very critical, you rank them with the top order. So the 10% example that I'm giving, right? The approaches could be many ways. Okay, one of that is they're saying the system can help. Okay, in this case study, they're saying global. There is a project name to it, if I know correctly. A integrated project governance system is a solution. Okay, that's the approach that they want to follow. But there could be many solution approaches. Okay, you can use an existing software. You can use you can purchase or lease a new software, design and develop a custom software, add resources to the businesses, okay, or make organization changes, change the procedure or business process itself, right? There could be many solution approaches. So it's critical that we mention in the beginning itself, okay, and rank them accordingly. Going forward, we can make a proper decision in terms of how we want to take this forward. It could be a new application, it could be an existing application, or you can work around with the business process itself, right? So the scope now comes once you have defined, identified the approach. Now you have to define the scope, right? The scope says what applications or what business processes or what modules are applicable. Okay, what way are we going to approach? Okay, how many implementation cycles that we have? Okay, what dependencies we have on the implementation. So there are certain modeling techniques for scope, okay, which clearly says, like, if you look at this, right, so it clearly says what is in scope. Okay, a finance system, which could be an actor, is out of scope, but project control system, this is the scope. Okay, we'll get to the use cases at later point in time, but this is just for example. So once we do all that, right? Once we identify define a business need, identify solution approach, and uh, then we get into the business case. We're trying to define a business case using all that inputs. Okay. We also analyze the gaps. Okay. Now, what was the need behind this business change? Okay. So we collected all that information. Okay. All this, and we also identified scope in terms of how we want to implement it, what is in scope. So after doing all these items, then last thing that we're going to do is define a use case. Okay. Now, why do you think we collected all that information that we did before this, the business need or the approach or the gap? Why do you think we did all that before we did a business case, before we even define a business case? Varada?
It may be because it may already be there in the organization, which the organization is not able to even realize it. So once we do this analysis, you may not even require a business case. You just have to tweak some processes.
Correct. No, my point is, after doing all that, we're doing a business. Now we are trying to define a business case. Okay. How do you think all these inputs that we spoke, solution scope or solution approaches, or the way we do it, gap analysis, would help in business case? Basically, I mean, we need to arrive at numbers, right? So
Correct.
the gap or the scope or the approach would actually help in defining the business case. So that's why we have to do all that. Okay. Now, what is a business case? So it defines various options, right, for a problem that we are facing. It is always defined in the beginning. What are the steps that we follow? Identify option, shortlist, evaluate, recommend option. So we have to do a feasibility analysis. Okay. So what level of feasibility are we going to look at? Business feasibility, technical feasibility, financial state feasibility, right? So this is what we propose. Okay, but there are different ways that different ways in which you can structure your business case. Okay, it could be introduction, management summary, options, analysis of costs and benefits, impact assessment, risk assessment, recommendation, support information. Okay, supporting information. So in this, you guys have got the document, right? All of them. So this is the case study. Okay, I'm assuming you guys have got it. So you have to look into this case study, understand the pain points, figure out if there is an organization structure which has been defined clearly, who is working under who are the decision makers, okay, and the decision is already made that doing so and so stuff, we're going to do certain things, okay. Now, as a first exercise, we have covered till here. I would request you to prepare a business case, okay. So the structure you know, okay. I would require you to work on a business case. Okay, I can quickly let you know what a few of our folks have done earlier in terms of business case. So in one of those business case, right? So they have clearly mentioned they say, I mean, over a period of 6 years, 5 years, they're going to ramp up the project managers from 50 to 200, right? And then per cost per hour, okay? Number of hours utilized, total cost. So this cost is already given. Now head count is given for project managers. So what is the total cost? Okay, if they say 10% saving, then we have 10% saving here. What is the